Alright, welcome back to part 3. Alright, this is currently how it sits. Motor on, steering in. But I've got to take it all off. I'm going to paint it. Probably should have done that from the get-go, and I'm also going to add 4 more rod holders in because supposedly these rod holders in front of the console steering wheel is a bad idea. So I'm going to mark where these ones are. It's roughly a water bottle distance, so I'm just going to trace that because I'm going to take the window off. So I'm going to mark it over there, and then window comes off, steering wheel off, fuel tank I'm going to screw in, motor off again for like the 5th time, and then I'm going to paint strip it all. So trace this on this side and then rip everything apart. The joys of not being fully decided halfway through a build. So I just transferred a new line in. I don't know, everyone in the comment section saying that it was silly putting them in front of the driver's seat, but what they don't realise is once you're in here, and once you open this door, they're going to hit the rods. So unless I put like a stopper there. So I'm going to do it anyway, just to keep everyone happy. But like the electric motor folds up, it's going to hit them. So I don't really know. But I'm doing it to make you all happy. Now the messy part. Undoing everything that is pressured. So I'm going to try catch what I can in here, just to save the mess of it going everywhere. Oh, none. Not none, but there's a little bit. So I think once I turn the steering wheel, it should all pump in here. There's a little bit of it. So the plan is to undo the engine bolts now, slide the motor over, still gripping, and then leave the hydraulic steering on. Alright, the motor is off. It was a bit of a mission on my own, but it's about the 5th time I've done it. So now is take the electric off and see if this windscreen comes off, I think. And then let the fun begin. There goes the electric. Electric is off. Time for the windscreen. Don't really know how this is going to go. Definitely stripping it. But, oh, we got a fair bit of play. I think there's only like one more, I reckon. I reckon there's 2. I reckon there's 3 in this. I reckon one there, one there. I'm going to hop underneath actually and have a look.
There's only 2 in the windscreen. One near the top and one down the bottom.
These covers just come off, I think. I think there's covering the screws. Yep. 2 screws there. 1 screw there. And that should come out. So the screws are actually one there and one on the corner there. So 1, 2, and 3. And that will come out. We're under these little covers. Just pop off. Like that. Come on. Like that. Screw. 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 screw, and that's it. How awesome is that? Put the covers back on so I don't lose them, because I'm definitely known for misplacing things. Put these somewhere safe. And then put these somewhere where they won't get damaged by the dog. Last but not least, how's the look of it with no windscreen? Oh, it's sick. Like a full speedboat looking. I don't know. I like it, but it's just not practical. Now to pump out the rest of the fluid. I dare say a fair bit will come out. Oh, I can hear it. Because I got to get disconnect inside. So the more I get out there, the less I'm going to have inside. Alright, so the plan is now I'm going to leave the steering wheel on and then drain all the fluid from there, remove those nuts again. Basically doing everything twice. But you live and learn, I reckon. Hopefully there's not too much fluid in here. I feel like that probably is. But keep him in there. I can all drain in there. Now to undo that. Alright. The last screw. And then this should come out like that. We're back with the whistles. Oh yeah, how good. Now bloody rains here. Slow things down a little, but we're getting somewhere. Just start making progress and the rain comes. Well, while it was raining, I removed the breathers and the hose clamps off the fuel tank. So this can all come out now, hopefully. So, out she comes. She's nearly back to bare hull. I've just got to, using a drill bit, drill out these rivets so they can be ready for paint. So that should come off now, right there, and also the bungs. Now that the rivets are drilled out, you should be able to just break the silicone seal like that. Next, your fuel filler. It's nearly there. Last is I got to take out the inserts of the rod holders. So I'm guessing you just put a flathead screwdriver in there, break that seal like that. Boom. Alright, all the old skin fittings, bungs have been removed. There's just one left. This fella here. Yeah. Oh, she gone. Now to remove just this stuff here, like that, and drain hose, like so. She's all back, ready to start stripping the paint. Just got to go down to Super Cheap Auto now Get some paint stripper and a couple of paint scrapers. And get into it. All the inside's got to be done. Fair bit of work in it. So it's going to look completely different, I reckon, by hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Got a full day on it tomorrow if it doesn't rain. Here we are. A couple of these should do the trick, I reckon. And a couple of these, I reckon. Next stop, we are on. We've got 2 just in case. And that should just do it, hopefully. Paint brushes to put it on, paint scrapers to scrape it off. All right, so the plan is to put this into a bit bigger tub. I didn't realise it was like a gel. I should do for now. Make sure the lid goes back on. This stuff burns. Then open up a paintbrush. Open a paintbrush. And then just do a bit by bit. And see how it goes. I think you put it on quite thick. Wow, it smells. And just bit by bit, see how it reacts. It should start bubbling. And just don't get it on your skin. That's a bit of advice for you. It's a little section at a time. Wow, it's already bubbling. It's been like 30 seconds. Alright, I don't know if this is going to work. I thought it might be a bit quicker. Not really. Kinda. It's come along pretty good. It's only probably been half an hour. It's taken me half an hour to do one side. All the bits that are left there, I'm going to hit again with paint stripper once it dries. But the gurney, I think I like the gurney better. It doesn't scratch the hull, and you can get all into the cracks, all into the crevice. But it's coming along pretty good. Just got the other side to do. Wait for this to dry, give it another coat, and all the inside. But she's coming along. All right, that's one side done. Paint stripped, cleaned. The gurney is definitely good. You can get all up everywhere. It actually doesn't look too bad, all grey. Alrighty, starting this side today. Hopefully it's not as rainy as yesterday. I can get a fair bit done. Do the side, transom, and start the inside, hopefully. That's the plan. Alright, that's just a second little coat of paint stripper on now. Just getting off all the small little bits. And then I've done inside here, the back, and then the transom. So I feel like if you had a high pressure gurney, I just got a little one, and it comes off pretty easy. Just takes a bit of time, but if you had like a petrol big bad boy gurney, it would make life so much easier. And then it's just inside to do, which is going to be fun. So it's taken me basically 2 litres to do a 4.2 tinny. There's stuff all left. I'm just going to try to do inside the gunnels with what is left, but there isn't much. So with the little bit I have left, I'm just going to start the inside. Goes pretty far, especially because this is like half. Look at that already happening. Yep, the gurney just shit itself, but it's basically like a brand new boat now. Just got to do the back, finish on the back transom, and in here, and clean off in here. She should be looking pretty flash. All right, the backup plan is a wire wheel on a grinder. The outside is basically complete. I just got to flip it over, just a small couple things in here, just with the hand wire brush. Inside's all clean, steps all done. Just be when I flip it over, it'll just be under the step. Let it clean. But apart from that, it's a pretty good day. It's basically, I don't know, it's probably taken me like 5 hours, I reckon. Maybe 4. Done about an hour and a bit yesterday, and what's the time now? And about 3 hours today, off and on. Inside's all done. She's coming up pretty good. I actually kind of like it, just alloy look. It's in real good condition. But rod holders go in tomorrow on the other side, and then I'll probably put the windscreen on. There's going to be a bit of a hold up as the paint I want has to come from America, and it's a 4-week wait. So I'll probably strip all the inside. Don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I would like to just paint over it, but it's very dirty and the paint won't stick. So I'll probably paint strip all the inside, I think. Don't know. I'll give it a go. And yeah. That's how she's looking. We're off. We're off to A+ aluminium welding to get the 4 rod holders put in on the port side, because supposedly rod holders in front of the driver is a bad idea, even though they're 1 centimeter thick. So I think the bigger issue is having a 16-inch screen up the front. It's going to be more of a vision block, but anywho, we're on our way, en route, and you'll see us when we're at Hayden's. Here we are, 4 there. 4 mark. Holes are all drilled. Rod holders will go in. Like so. 2 tucked in. Definitely the easiest way to do it. Get someone else to do it. This weather is absolutely terrible. But I'm going to try paint strip inside the hull today. I haven't got another tin of paint stripper, bit of Barocca, and there's rain. I'm just going to hop in under there And it's going to be the most difficultest job because it burns like hell if it gets on your skin. And I feel like I'm going to get it on my skin. And this rain is getting heavy. So I'm going to hop in under and get going, I think. So much room in here. I think I'm going to start at the nose and do one side and work my way down. Because I don't really want to get out there and get wet. But there's just so much room in here. You can literally lay 3 people, I reckon. Easy, comfortable. So, get a tub. I'm gonna try not get this on me because this literally burns like hell. Already got it on me. And then get started. You want it on pretty thick. Fumes is wild of this stuff. The fumes are hectic. It's just burning my eyes. Wow, literally burning my mouth with the fumes. I might need to go get a fan. Wow. Wow, that was insane. I got a little fan out of the shed. Wow. We got a fan to circulate the air, fresh air. It could be about 10 times bigger and it's moving on its own. Oh, but it's wild. But that's the first little front panel done. It's all coming pretty good. So I'll move on to this panel now. Oh, my eyes, it's just stinging. Alright, that's half the boat done. Basically done from the chine line across and up, all the way up the front. Now, I would also recommend, probably the biggest stuff up I've done so far is I should have done this before I done this. But I didn't know if I was going to paint it or not, and I definitely wasn't at the beginning, but this stuff's pretty wild. Like, it just comes off. I got some on my leg currently. Ah! Oh. I think it literally burns hairs off your leg. Alright, one shoot itself. So got the backup going. This is the really dangerous part because you're washing it off and the solvent burns. So I'm just going to spray it back from a fair bit back first to wash all the agent off and then go in heavy with it. Stop! And all I'm doing now is just tip the boat up and just flushing out all of the paint. Fair bit just come out so far. So basically just flooding the hull, cleaning all of it. Shut up! We're back at it. Treated myself to a new wire wheel. Instead of giving that a second coat of paint stripper, I'm just going to try wire wheel it because the hull's clean. So I want to wire wheel that side and then paint strip the starboard side. See how easy it comes off. This is definitely a mission. I highly suggest not repainting a boat. But it's all basically all done. Just got that back little section to do there somehow. And it should be all good to go. And tomorrow paint strip this side, I think, and wire wheel it. And it should be all ready for paint. Here we go. That's how it was. That's how it needs to be. And that is a lot of effort. So, getting back on this. Got the fan ready. This stuff is poison. Make sure you wear a mask. Here we go. Sunday Arvo. This bit down here, I couldn't get off. It's actually baked on pretty well. So I'm just gonna hit it with a second coat of paint stripper, and then it should get it all off. If not, I'll hit it with a wire wheel then. It just took a bit of effort with the wire wheel. That's literally been like 30 seconds. And I struggled to get that off with a wire wheel. So maybe it is worth doing 2 coats of the paint stripper and then wire wheel anything else that you can't get off. This is the part I'm not looking forward to. Under the cabin. Pretty sure, yeah, you can call it a cabin. Put the fan in place. Alright, here we go, the other half. Even with a mask on, these fumes are out of control. Just putting her on thick. Thick and quick is, I reckon, the best thing to do. Alright, that's all the other half done. So I'm going to give it like 15 minutes, hit it with a gurney. This time I'm going to give it a second coat on the bits that don't come off easy, and then do the wire brush, because the wire brush is hell. Don't recommend the wire brush at all. Here we go. Standing back so none of the solvent goes on me to start off with. Alright, that's the first layer of paint stripper all gurneyed out. Now just to wash it all out and then let it dry and hit it with the second coat. That's it, all washed out. So now there's a little bit of sun left. I'm hoping it dries out this afternoon so I can get another coat on, and then tomorrow I'll just wire brush it back and then hopefully do the floor tomorrow while I wait for the paint. Alright, we're back. Second coat of paint stripper. Just to try clean up all the leftover, and then I'll wire wheel it. I wasn't going to wire wheel it, but everyone's saying you got to sand it anyway. So if you got to sand it, then wire wheeling it is basically sanding it. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'm just going to try do the paint scraper to just get off the hard bits that we didn't get off on the first coat. Seems to work pretty good. Here goes, second coat wash off. Alright, that's the second coat all washed out. It's basically all good. But instead of sanding it, I'm going to hit it with a wire wheel. Hopefully the scratches don't come through the paint, but the paint I'm getting, you got to roll on. So I'm hoping that it fills in all the cracks. But just all these little marks, they all have to be sanded back. Well, wire wheeled back, I reckon. Wow, what a process. But it's all clean now, all wire wheeled, ready for primer. The whole boat's done now. What a mission. One last final washout and we are done. Here we are, CCA Constructive Composites Australia. Time to get some thermalite. We are on a couple sheets of cardboard for templates and two 15mm sheets. I think they're 24, 40 by 12, 40 of a thermalite from CCA. Now she's all ready to get the floor started while I wait for the paint, and I purchased this trolley. So I'm hoping I can just slide it on and then I can work inside the shed out of the weather, because we're gonna get some rain this next few days. Now, all I'm doing is just unwinding the winch and pushing it back, and it should just slide right on. If it all goes to plan, it's gonna be the best thing ever. Literally unwinding that and just pushing this back. Now hopefully it's all going to plan. Oh, how good's that? And that's it, basically on. The trailer should be able to come out from under it now, like so. And I can just push it on further, and then I can just wheel it around in the garage. And there you have it, on its own little trolley, so I can paint it out of the weather, get rid of some of the gym equipment, and I'll be able to paint it in here. So the trolley's gonna be that handy. I'm just happy it works. It actually fits like perfect. In theory, I should just be able to wheel it around. All right, let's start on the floor. So this back section is going to be one piece. So you want to measure the widest part, the tape measure. So the rear part is 1590. So you want to mark the center, 795. The Nico, mark 795 as the center line. Now come back to the next rib, measure the width again. The width of the second rib is the same, 1590. So you mark your center at 795. The third rib back is actually on a support. So it's 1500. So you mark 750. 750. Then the fourth rib is 1580. So you mark center, which will be 790. First measurement in your center, 1590, 1590, 1500, and 1580. Next, you want to measure how far it is from the back. Furthest back you're going to the furthest front you're going. So I'm going to go 20 mil over, so 1220. So now you want to get an offcut of cardboard and draw basically what it is you're cutting out, and then put your measurements in. So that's your back rib is your first one, second, third, fourth. So the back one was 1590. $15.90 again. This one, 1500 on a rib. And then 1580. also want to put the half measurements on here as well. So you got your 790, your 750, and your 795, 795. Because you're going to be working from the center of the sheet outwards. So with the largest measurement being 1590, 795 half, you mark 795 here at the bottom, and then 795 at the top, like so. Using something nice and straight, line up the marks at 795 and simply mark that the whole way. Like so. Then set your tape up on your center lines inside the boat, and then measure how far your measurement was across. So it is, my first measurement was 40 mil. I would say 40 mil from one side to the other. And then mark 40 mil. So you're coming in 40 mil from the end. Your next one, about 440. 440. Your third one is about 800. And your last one is right on the end of the sheet, which is 1220. So now what you want to do is you mark your 40 in, your 440, your 800, and you know your end of the sheet is your 1220. With those same measurements, you transfer to the side of the sheet and then get your straight edge and line them up. So simply mark the middle one with the outside one and draw your line. So that's your first rib, second rib where you measured it from. So once it starts to look like this, get your measurement, 795, put it on 795 in the center, and then mark the outside mark on the line. As the second measurement is the same, do the same on the second line. Third one is 750, so you put that on 750, like so. Mark over here, and on the other side flip that around, put that on your 750, same measurement, center to center, center to the outside, like so. The fourth rib is 790, so mark your 790, flip it around, chuck that on 790. I already marked it, but just showing you, it's 790. Main floor is really simple, but you take it in that 5 mil from your longest measurement, straight line all the way down to nothing, as the biggest measurement goes right to the end of the sheet. So complete that on the blank side to your measurements, like so. Come back to where the rib measurement was. See how they are, so they're 30 mil wide, so leave 5 mil either side to make that 40 from center. So 40 is just 20 mil either side of the 100 mark. Do 100 because it's more accurate than just doing that. The end moves a fair bit. Also mark up a little bit further, the 40 mil, so 20 either side of the center line, so then you can get it square marking to cut, to draw, then cut. Boom. Boom. So that's got to go. Once it's all marked out, get your pair of scissors if you're cardboarding, templating it, and just snip along the line. You can leave them there and just fold that up. Like so. To the other side. Boom. And boom. So, I forgot the back rib. So all I'm going to do is take the template out, mark center to center, or measure, and then mark it on here and cut out the 40 by 40 little square. There's the template cut. So center to center, 710, I reckon. So then mark from your center, 710, and then 20 mil either side to allow for the rib. Cut like so, like so, fold up. Cut the other side, fold her up. Now that's looking better. So then you can see exactly what you're doing. So this here, just need the little corners out of it. Like in here. That side's snug, so I've just measured it, 32 mil across. So when I do the template on the actual Thermalite, I can get that bang on. Same as this one, that was nice and snug. So 32, left-handed across. All right, once you have your material that you're gonna use for your floor, chuck your template on. I chose to go 15 mil Thermalite due to plywood does rot over time. And even though you get marine ply, you still have to seal the edges or else it swells and it's shit, which Thermalite is a little bit extra. You don't have to seal it. Lifetime warranty. Doesn't compress, doesn't expand. It's basically, you can paint that or you can glue your flooring straight on, whatever it is. So it's a little bit extra, but you got it for a lifetime rather than plywood. Much of a saving, but you got to replace it every couple of years. So not just replace the wood, obviously you got your carpet or flooring that goes on top of it. So it costs you nearly double in the long run. So if you have the money, get in contact with your local Thermalite dealer and get yourself a sheet. Well worth it. Put your templates on. Simply just trace the outside of the cardboard. Then with these little measurements, so you got 32 across, mark that rib and then measure 32 across with the tape. And this one's just 16, so that one's good. Easy as. All right, that's the template all traced out. Now to get the jigsaw to cut these out and the circular saw to cut that straight line. Oh, it's a little bit off, 5 mil one end to 0 here. All right, here goes nothing. You get out of the way. Better off cutting a little bit less. You can always cut it out. You can't always add it on. The fun part. Make sure you're not cut through the table. All right, that's it all cut. There's going to be a few little adjustments I got to cut as I left it a little bit longer than I should have cut it, as you can always cut more off, but you can't always add more on with this stuff. So chuck it in, see how she fits. Well, I ran into the problem of I can't fit it in. Obviously the template went in fine because it's cardboard. So I'm going to have to cut that down the guts now and have two sheets. One goes in that way, one goes in that way, and they both sit flush. And now we have two. That should be much easier to fit now. All right, that's the floor. It's overlapping as you have to cut out either side of the ribs. So it's marked there, 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 and there. Once they're cut out, I'm going to plane the underside on like a 45, same as the hull, so then it should sit up very nice and flush. Once those little notches are cut out, flip the sheet, grab the planer, and put that on like a 45-degree, or probably like a 30-degree angle, the shape of the hull. All right, so that's the corner that's going against the hull, all planed back on like a, I'd say like a 30-degree angle, I reckon. Moment of truth. Ooh, ooh, snug. So that's what's got to happen. So it looks like there's like a 2mm gap all the way down there, and the top's hitting. Right, so you get your pen, put it against the hull. Does it mark there? Marks up here. That makes it that you got to cut that black line out for it to be the same gap here. And then it should fit in quite nice. Once that little, what's that, about 3mm cut off. Right, this thought, I might change the guide plate onto like a 30-degree angle. So when I cut that, it saves the planing of it. So I'll give it a go and I'll let you know. It might be easier in the future to cut it on a 45 rather than plane it. All right, that's the angle cut from the circular saw. And this is the angle I use with the planer. It's definitely like 100 times easier to set the circular saw up to cut the angle, that's for sure. Lesson learned. So I'm going to continue and run the circular saw down to make it all the same. Now that gap is the same all the way along. So that pen trick is a pretty good trick if you want to keep the same gap all the way along. Little trick for you all. But now, one side's done, time to do the other side. Alright, the moment of truth. I haven't bothered to hit this one with the planer yet. Gonna do a full comparison video on planer versus angle of circular saw. So basically when you start it, so you're not taking any off, and be good to go. Now that is 100% easier way to do it. Don't listen to what I said before about the planer. That's just get that idea out of your head. Circular saw on an angle is the go. Well, that's all the floor done. The main floor anyway. Now to start inside the cabin. So what I've done is I've just used an old bit of ply and cut out just rough as. Took me 2 seconds. And then what I've done is gone through with a bit of angle and then marked all the ribs. Boom, hits there, comes in there, and that's at the top of your 15mm. No, it's a 12mm. So that gives us where the floor's gonna go. So then we can cut it in on that 45-degree angle and get it as tight as possible. I think the plywood is definitely a must. Even if you get a short bit of the same thickness or close to it, and then use your straight, below, even a level or something, and it just makes it so much easier. So it's gonna finish it up real snug. All depends how neat you want to be too, but that gives it the top of the sheet, and then we're gonna 45 it to make it fit real snug, hopefully. So That's that side all done. Once this is out, now that's all out, you can actually see where the floor is going to be. So now we can take some measurements and be good to go. So we've got the center line. You're going to be working from the center. So that's your center line. We got the front section and we've got the back section. Now, the measurement from the front to the back is 1370. 1375. So now there's 6 points of measurement. So we got a rib here, we got a rib here, we've got a rib here, and we got a rib here. So now we get the measurements from side to side, halve it, side to side, halve it, side to side, halve it, and it should look like this. And that's how it looks. So you got the front of the brace is 810, center of the brace 260 back is 720, 280 back from the front is 870, 595 back from the front is $1.80, 620 back, 950, and so on. So next, what you want to do is halve all these measurements. All right, it might just look like a lot of numbers, but these are all the half measurements of these. So these are going to be the main thing, and I'll explain why. So you have to work from the longest measurement, which is 1350. So you mark your 1350 on your sheet. So that's 1350, and center is 675. It's half. So on your big material, you mark that. So you use the bottom, and that's your corner of your sheet basically. So that's your corner of your sheet. So you come in 675, mark center, 675, come in, mark it. So now you work off your center measurements. So you come back 230, boom, 260, 280, so on. And then you go 405 out. So you measure 405 out, 405 out. Next one, just moving on just so you can see what I mean by you have to work from the center. It's 540 at, let's just go 620. So 620 back, 540, boom, boom. 860, boom, and its half is 597, boom, 597, 597. So you have to work from your center. So this will be where you cut out eventually. But you have to work from center because you can't work from the square edge, or else you're not going to be able to get that curve of the bow. So center measurements are a must. It all makes sense. I'll show you on the material tomorrow. It's currently 9 o'clock at night. Good morning. We're starting the day off cutting the floor template out under the cabin. Now, because the length of it is 1375 and the width is 1365 or 75, we are going, it's basically a square, but the sheets only come in 1200 by 24. So we're gonna have to do one side at a time. So we're gonna mark that out, cut it out, put it in the boat, cut the left support side out. All right, basically what we're marking out, get your tape measure and your pen. So we're gonna do, this is the starboard, and this is support. So we're going to use this straight line down the middle over here. So this is where the half measurements come into play. So we're doing 675. You measure your height up. And 75. 75. Get your straight edge. So that's your length. Now what you want to do is you want to measure back. So you want to put that on your measurement. And these measurements that you've measured back from the front, so 230, you mark 230. 260. 280, 595, 620, now come over here, do the same, 230, 260, now, once you got that done, right, so now you've got all your points of measurements. So now you've got all your half measurements from the front. Right, this is the front. So the very front measurement, 605, so half of that is 302. If you come in like that, it's 405. 405. 360. 435. Then you come down here, your meter mark, 540. 540, 475. 570. Like so. Now, all you do is you drop the dots, your measurements. Like so. What you can also do is do extra measurements if you want to, so you go in between half, and that will give you a more accurate curve if you really needed it. But this is why you have to work from your center measurement. You can't work from outside measurements because you've only got one square edge, and it's the bottom normally. If a sheet was fitted in, you'd have to do from the center up and then curve out to your sheet. So if you went center and took your measurements off, it wouldn't work. So you have to go center and then your measurements to create that curve either side. But I'll cut this out and we'll see how it goes. Now, that's basically it. I've just measured that support for the console that I welded in. So the support is 230 in. That's there. and it's 40 mil by 40 mil. So I had a piece of 40 by 40. All this bit will be getting cut out because that's where it steps down. So it steps down from, yeah, basically from here. And let's go see how it fits. All right, here goes nothing. So see that cutout? The cutout goes basically from that support up to the third rib back. So where I just cut, that should be able to go around there. That should be going up. That should fit in there. Oh my goodness. So it could, you sort of see here where you can tidy up if you want to. Make that tighter. This one goes up on like a slight angle, so it was really hard to judge. But apart from that, there's your pen line. Everything's really, really nice. Just needs a couple of adjustments. So, this is where you write in your adjustments. So I think like here, come over like 2 mil. Same as here, 2 mil. This one could come over, say 5 mil. That side's good. This one here needs like, so this is an angle one. So down here is good, but the top isn't, so it needs to be sort of cut on an angle like that. Same as this. This could probably come in 5 mil here, 5 mil there, and then like 20 mil there to cut that triangle out. Front's good. This just needs to be cut back from about here and then like a triangle like that, and there you have it. So eventually this will get cut out from here, there, basically like that, and that will be her. So I got this sheet, it was damaged, so I got it as well as I didn't need a full sheet. So what you got to try to do now is fit it the best you can, so you can get 2 of these out of this piece. All right, so the best way I'm going to do it is, I think one like that, and then the other like that. What I'm going to do, I don't want to redraw it, as I know the measurements are correct. But once you've got that all traced out, put this back on. And make your changes. So what I've just done with that template, marked everything over. So that there, marked there, so I'll line that up with there. 20 mil over, put a mark there. 5 mil, put a mark in 5. 2 mil, mark, 2 mil. And now rip this off and make your adjustments. All happen. There's an underline and cut underneath.
Jigsaw these bad boys out.
Alright. Just gonna make a little support. Screw them together. Just cut some holes and a little plate. Now to just screw these in. Alright. Like a bolt line. Alright, here it is. I've got literally stuff everywhere. But that join, that's alright. All this is getting floored anyway. Time, moment of truth. Oh, it's a process. But hopefully it fits like a glove. The moment of truth. That goes in and around like so. That goes down. Woo! Finally, one side all in. It's all very neat. About 2 to 5 mil gap either side. All cut in here, nice. Now to do the other side. Hopefully the template's just a flip, reverse, and then just small adjustments to suit. Time to see if my logic works. Probably won't. Oh yeah. She fits like a glove. How good's that? Now to trace that onto the other side of the thermo. Cut that out, and then it's only this little lower section to do. Nice rectangle. 30. 30. 260. So even though that was the template, all I'm going to do is cut it out and then flip it and then do these little adjustments to it. And this is the fort. So currently I just marked out the starboard side, but it's the exact same. And then I'll flip it, flip the underside, and then I'll mark the small little adjustments. Flip it over. And there you have it. Right, the final part, cutting out that little step, marked in, that's where the frame goes, the uprights to support the dash. Here goes, and that's the floor hopefully done. Here goes the test of all time. Woo! She's taking shape. It all fits snug as. So now just to measure up this rectangle in here where it sits down and then cut that out. The time has finally come. The last bit of flooring. So that's that little channel. So it will go up and in and then drop down. So that's where the end of the step down is, but giving it a little bit extra to sit under the top floor. And yeah, cut that out and see if she fits. Woo. Let's go. Hopefully it fits like a glove and I can pack everything up. So it should fit above that. The floor's overhanging, so just gotta pull this up. Oh my goodness. Ooh. How bloody good. Once that's screwed down, it's complete. Look at that. Woo! Finished the flooring finally. I'm going to end it there for part 3, as the paint for the outside and the inside is about 4 weeks away, coming from the States. Getting some special paint that's meant to be the bee's knees. But thank you for watching, I appreciate it, and all the feedback. I've probably done things a hard way, but I'm learning as I go as well. So I'm taking you along the journey, and if there's anything you want to know or think I could have done better, let me know. I'm open to suggestions and happy to learn. Currently, how she looks. Very, very happy. And Gallen Thermalite will last forever. So, I've ordered the seats. Seats and pedestals. Just waiting on paint. And I'll see you for part 4 in a couple of weeks. Thank you.